At a nail shop in Bali, Indonesia, two women on vacation from the US and UK became irate over their nail salon bill.
Look, let me tell you something. I've tried to be reasonable. Y'all, I asked you several times. Let me outside. And now I'm trying to get money. You just know what I'm going outside for. Why were you trying to hold me hostage?
So days after the incident, these two were quickly apprehended at the airport before they could flee to Thailand. So the Daily Mail reported that the woman claimed they were held hostage, as they referred to them as backpackers without enough money to pay the staff, but also allegedly tried to take cash from the salon as well. So just 2 days later, they were arrested at the airport trying to conceal their identities, and are now facing charges including maltreatment and forcing others to do something, which totals over 3.5 years in prison. As the Twitter replies talk about how in Central Asia, the laws actually apply, in contrast to the US and UK, where the rules typically don't, wishing that the US would do the same. Now I think there's a fine line between law and order and a dystopian police state, as the idea of maltreatment getting you 2 years in jail sounds extreme, but I think their penal code translation is closer to assault than just bad treatment. And that actually makes more sense. I just think it's going to be pretty shocking for these ladies if they indeed get 3 years in prison over nail polish. But maybe that's why we don't see many videos of unemployed behavior popping up out of Bali, as there's plenty of footage of nail salon customers simply walking out without paying in places like Long Beach, California, and even across the entire continent in Toronto, Canada. As a lot of Americans seem to feel completely comfortable not paying at Asian establishments in general. But what's interesting is on TikTok there's replies with hundreds of thousands of likes pointing out that they should have known or done more to stop them, and even go as far as thinking they need security guards or use the same door buzzer locks used at banks. So notice how the EBT class went from the police should stop prosecuting people for petty crimes to when you're the victim of a petty crime, it's somehow your fault. And now, you need to protect your nail polish the same way banks secure hundreds of thousands of dollars of cash. And I'm sorry, if you need to protect nail polish behind an armed guard and 2 levels of ballistic glass, you no longer live in the civilized world, and at that point, I don't even think you need your nails painted. So sad to say, how do we avoid a society that needs to secure the salon like Fort Knox, throwing the book at the thieves that think the rules don't apply to them? As interestingly, look at why Indonesia has lower crime rates. They cite lower unemployment and higher human development, as they boast an increasing clearance rate on their crimes reaching over 70%, compared to the US, where even serious crimes barely scratch 60% in the best case scenario, but more frequently sit at 10%. And comparing Indonesia to the US, we have 5 times the robberies, 3 times the number of jailed people per capita, but interestingly, the same amount of foreign prisoners. It's almost like the justice system can work as a deterrent when you allow it to actually work. But for some reason, deep blue parts of the country decided that certain crimes are fine because of social justice. But that birthed this new phenomenon of Americans going to places like Indonesia and Japan and are now looking at several years in prison for what America would tolerate, and companies inside the country needing to employ their own Costco brand Indiana Jones just to protect the people that the justice system won't. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, then go check out the video on that Kirkland brand Indiana Jones that gave those smash and grab robbers a really hot tip to stop stealing.